Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Heal the Industry podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Vance, and today I have a really near and dear friend here on the podcast with us today. And you guys might know my favorite quote from her because I have referenced it a couple of times on this podcast. I've referenced it when I've been guests on other people's podcasts. I love it so much. And I'll share it in a second. But first, I want to introduce you guys to my dear friend, Jamie. Jamie, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Jamie Varney. I am a wife, mom, and a hairstylist. And before we really start, I want to say this. Ashley Vance is truly one of my favorite people. When I look back at my life and I look back at my career, she is a permanent pushpin on my map of people that, God willing, I know her to the day I die, but if I don't, for whatever reason, I will always reflect that she was a positive person in my life.
You're gonna make me cry when we just started.
And I'm so serious. I am so serious. I wanted to say that officially for the internet to hear. This is no bullshit. This is her. Sorry for swearing on your podcast.
It's okay.
She means the world to me, and I am so grateful that the random invisible strings that tied us together did. You know?
Totally. It's meant to be.
It is
interwoven.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I had to say that. I had to.
You're the best. I'm so grateful. Also, I'm terrible at taking compliments. I love you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, tell me your older sister telling me.
I'm so grateful for you. That is so kind. Thank you for sharing that. Now I'm going to collect myself. And you can introduce yourself.
Okay, so while she gets herself together. So I'm a hairstylist of 13 years. I'm from the Midwest originally. I've been a Texan for 10 years now. And I am an education director, so I'm a lead stylist in the salon that I work at. And my role is to grow and mentor new stylists and also help continue to mentor and guide stylists of all levels. But my primary focus is the new talent, which is why I'm really glad I'm here, because Ashley and I think before even the podcast started, you and I just talking in private conversations when we're together about some of the toxicity in the industry. And then you and I have had so many good conversations, but when you officially launched Heal the Industry, I was like, yes, that's the exact phrase.
Yeah.
Heal the industry. And we first heal ourselves. There's a lot of us, veteran stylists and newer stylists that have to unlearn a lot of things or learn, certain things. Because I'm so happy to know that the industry is shifting in the direction and you are pioneering that.
Thank you.
I could not be more proud of her and for me to also be a part of that, because that's where I feel like you and I really connect as stylists, because I'm not a salon owner, but as stylists, because you do hair, I do hair, that we are leaving that mark on the world.
Yes. No, I agree. And, you and I, we were friends for a couple of years prior to the quote I'm going to reference. But I remember going to an event in Mexico. You were leading a group of stylists inside of that room. And I was sitting in there. I'm so grateful. God places you in rooms with people for you to hear things that'll forever, it's tattooed on my soul. I won't ever forget this. But she said it from a place of she was speaking from the depths of her soul. Her passion, her flow is that she leads the way that she wished she would have been led. Oh my gosh, I still get goosebumps when I say it, because I was and this is why we're meant to be. Right there, literally that statement is so powerful. It's so healing. And it's from a place of wanting to be a part of that leadership and pioneering, healing inside the industry. So I want you to share with our audience, what does that mean to you? Where does that come from and that desire?
So for me, truly, I commit to salons when I'm there. In 13 years that since I finished school and I've been in the industry the whole time, is that I've only been in 4 salons. This is the one that I'm currently in is my 4th salon. And that's because I'm self-aware enough to know when I'm in a good place, and it's not in a self-fulfilling way. Yes, I want to fulfill my dreams and my goals and things like that, but I crave community, and I crave positive role models. And even though I do mentor people now, I still very much have mentors. I consider you one. I consider our friend Lane one. I consider, like, again, talking about those positive push pins in the maps, right? And the first salon I worked at, it wasn't a bad experience, but I signed on for a 2-year contract, and mind you, this was 2013. I signed on for a 2-year contract, and the owner was a multi-salon location owner, and she was very talented. She was, at the time, I believed to be a very good person, and I don't, it's been so long since I've seen her, but in terms of what she promised to me as a brand new stylist, I don't like to say baby stylist, we're fresh talent, you know, because that's what we are. We're not babies.
Totally.
But, you know, she, I think, had a lot of good information, but explaining it to me or teaching me. I realized pretty quickly I was there to be a second set of hands for her to do more hair and make more money and her salon to grow, which I'm not shading that. But at that point, I'm an assistant. I'm not an apprentice. Apprentice is meant to be grown and taught and poured into to then lift them up and be successful, God willing, in your business. Because, you know, as an owner, you can only do all the hair so much before, if you want to grow, like, there's a ceiling to that. So training people with your protocols, your core beliefs, and the skills is what helps grow. And that's what I wanted. I was all in on the brand she carried. I was all in on her vision. And I was talented, I know that, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I know I was talented, but again, I was just kind of a second set of hands, and then I was doing a lot of her personal errands, not even in the salon, and then I was behind the front desk, and I was so good at that too, that I saw one paying client, and I remember during that 3-hour little highlight that I did, and she was, the client was so sweet. I can even remember the chair I was sitting in, right in the middle on the left side. And I remember feeling so happy and fulfilled getting to do hair, and it turned out great, and I was so happy, but then that was it. And after a year of that experience, I felt very strongly that I was not in the right place.
Right.
You know, but not even just that, it was that, am I in the right industry? And that doubt that I felt in myself, or that discouragement, was like heavy on me. And what I talk about when I teach other, you know, when we teach the teachers, one thing I say is, like, for myself, like, how sad to think that this would be an industry without me. And again, that's not because I'm the best there's ever been. It's that I love this industry, and not just the skill. I love everything about it. And to think, like, if that's true, well, sheesh, how many stylists did we not get because they didn't have good leadership?
Right.
You know, because teaching the skill of doing highlights and haircuts is one thing. That's not hard. It's really not. It's creating, like, a fulfilled life that encompasses that they happen to also do hair. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
So that has always been my brand, and is to lift everybody up. Because for me personally, I know I'm good at doing hair, so if I didn't teach anybody else, I'm gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Right? But it is so much more fulfilling and gratifying to me, and I really think this really set in when I became a mom too, is seeing my influence in the salon. And I don't need the thank yous. I don't need, like, I did this because Jamie taught me. I did this because Jamie does it and it works for her. But seeing small little things, like how they section their blow dries, how they're formulating, seeing the lights turn on and seeing the wheels turning and getting them thinking, and knowing that I had even a small part of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just me. They're also doing a lot on their own. But knowing that I was a little drop in their bucket, just truly makes my heart sing.
Oh,
honestly,
1,000,000%, because it's impact,
right?
Like, because you helped turn on that light for them. Now they're gonna get to, their career is gonna have that mark for you, of you in that for them, right? And because you've been able to build this, like, career inside the industry, that is, like, what is gonna make that ricochet effect, is leading from that place of you just desiring to do it better and want to grow and make a difference for these stylists. Because it is, like, yes, hair is a part of what we do, but we are so much.
It's truly such
more.
a small part.
Yeah, totally. It's like the covers, but everything that layers into is
it gets them in the door, right? To connect with people, like our clients and our stylists and things like that. But truly, it is. You know, how many times do our clients walk in? or we talk with stylists, and like if there's a pain point of any kind or like an opportunity for an emotional connection, it's like, yeah, my bangs are kind of weird, but really, let me tell you about this thing that my kid went through, or that we're going through at work, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get to the hair, but they really want to talk. And same thing with the stylist. Like, you know, they of course want to be good at hair, but they want to be happy and successful, and you know, success looks a lot of kind of ways. And I firmly believe it is not having the most money, having the notoriety, having the accolades. It's like sleeping at night and walking through life and reflecting back when I'm old and retired, you know, that that like I can be like, yeah, I feel good about that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So in like now in leadership and how you lead your girls inside the space as like the lead educator in the salon, what are the things that are non-negotiables for you when you are leading in a way that you wish you would have been led? Like, what are the things that you are changing that are making the biggest impact for these girls when building their careers behind the chair?
Very first and foremost, one of my favorite quotes is, well, actually, that's the second thing. The very first thing is that we don't do girl fights. We don't do drama.
Right.
My ops manager and I, in the interviews, say, you know, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
We are talked about all the time as a salon, with our girls and with our clients. When the people walk in, they're like, I just love the vibes in here. That quote you hear all the time, and that means a lot to me. We actually led a seminar last weekend for lead stylists and for salon owners, and one of the questions that was asked was, how do you navigate, you know, any girl fights or cattiness? And I was like, we don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist, because we've been doing it about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Is that this trope of, you know, hairstylists are uneducated, catty, drama queens, blah, blah, blah. That ends with me. That ends with us.
That ends here.
Right? Because like that's so demoralizing to women, that that's just like, that's all we are to people.
Right.
You know, and hairstylists, that's all we are to people. We just do the hair. We're, you know, second class service providers or people in a workforce, like,
right.
You know, so that's number one, is that I lead with kindness always. And a big thing, like an example of that is, I will always celebrate you in public. I'm a talker, you know that.
I love that about you.
and one thing I feel like we like about each other too is that we will say the nice things out loud. Right?
Totally.
I am not afraid. It's not corny to me. It's not cheesy. I don't care. I will, if your earrings are really cute, I'm going to make sure I tell you.
Are my earrings cute?
They are cute.
Okay, cool.
The whole fit is down, as the kids say, right? But if we do ever have to have a coaching conversation, it will always, always, always be in private, and I will always get both sides. So it's between you and another stylist, there's a client situation. If it's a me thing. Yeah. If there's something that I'm doing, because I'm very much, you can't punish somebody for behavior if they're not aware, right? So if they feel safe enough to come to me and say, hey, you know, whatever the situation is that we'll always have that behind closed doors. I will never ever embarrass you or undermine you on the floor.
Right.
That's huge to me, because that's yucky.
Totally.
Senior stylists and salon owners that think that because they had to suffer coming up, that we have to pass that trauma. I put that down a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was never about that, because like, what's the point? That's why we lose people. That's why we lose good talent. And that's in any industry. Think of how many doctors that had the cure to cancer in their brain without the right leadership or whatever it is, or them made to feel some type of way because of lack of years in the business, is so sad to me.
Totally.
You know, as a society, I feel like that's a big thing. And so there's that aspect of it. And then I forgot the second thing I was going to say.
Oh, you had a quote.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, sorry.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
We'll come back to that. It'll come back to me.
Totally. But yeah, no, it's so important to pour these like teachings into these girls of like clear, like black and white. This is how we roll here. No like room for like misconstruing, right? And like, it is so important. I say to like the girls in the salon all the time, like, we are a team here. Have each other's backs. Like, I mean, I grew up, I played softball. So, you know, if the ball is going at a player, it is your job as the teammate to go back up that player in case the ball goes past them. You don't just stand there and say, can't believe that ball went past her. Like, you're going to lose the game. Like, you win as a team and you lose as a team. And so having each other's backs and speaking kindness to each other, speaking out kindness to each other is so important, you know?
I'm so glad you brought up playing a team sport, because there's actually a stat that I read that says girls who play team sports are 70% more likely to hold leadership positions in life.
Woo!
And here you are. And I was a softball girl too, and then I was a volleyball girl, you know, you know, that, because anybody that's played any kind of sport knows, especially when it's a team sport, right, that, you know, if you make a killer play at first, but that first baseman can't get it to third or whatever, however it goes, it's been so long. You know what I'm saying? That, like, that could like make a whole play fall apart. And so we all have to be looking around at everybody and not so lazy on what we're doing. You know, like, we want to be focused, but also we got to keep our peripheral vision from being blocked.
Totally.
Or from not being blocked.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And same thing with, you know, when you're in a leadership position, like, I have to, where I'm positioned physically in the salon, it's actually like this type of station right here, is that, like, I have my eyes and earballs open. And my clients ask me when I move from this chair to the chair I'm in now, why? And I'm like, because I want to be able to hear everything. I want to be visible to everyone so that they know, okay, if it's something's falling apart, Jamie's right there. You know, or I can call, they know they can call me, they can text me, whatever. I can, you know, I am there. And I will always jump in. I'm not going to let them flail.
Right. No, it's important for them to know, like, that somebody's in their corner. Someone has their back. They're not in it alone.
Exactly.
Like, just like you said, you love being a part of, like, a team. I believe that our industry wants that, is honestly craving that more now than ever. And that's, because you see in our industry, like, team-based salon environments are on a growth track right now, because people want each other. Like, they want to come together. They want to be able to riff ideas off of each other and, like, know that if life is happening, like a client's late or that service took longer, like, you know that you have somebody there that's gonna, like, help you out and not leave you floundering. And
I think that when, you know, we saw a big uptick when, like, salon suites came on the scene, is that a lot of people flocked to them. And I truly believe, with no evidence, that the reason a lot of that happened was because of toxic leadership. That yucky trope of, this is catty. Now, it's not to say salon suite renters or owners are not very happy, but we have seen them come on back, right? Especially because a lot of them, you know, when they're like 4, 5, 6 years in, they've been in it long enough to have, you know, probably a steady clientele and skills and things like that, but they missed the community of it, right? Because you don't get into a service industry because you like to be isolated. We work with the public. You know? Now, some don't mind more people than others. That's different, right? But also, you know, you stop learning. When I came to the salon that I'm at with, you know, at the time, 9 years behind the chair, I was suddenly one of the oldest people in the salon, and I have no qualms whatsoever about my age. I'm almost 34 years old, and I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of what I know. But when I was surrounded by all these young girls, I was looking at how they were dressed and how they were talking and services they were doing, because what they're learning in school these days is different than what I learned. And I think, you know, the core stuff, like, is tried and true, and it will be here forever. But I had to kind of, like, we didn't learn balayage, we didn't learn weft extensions, and we didn't learn all those kinds of things. And so I have to remind myself, I don't want to be an old lady hairdresser that I stopped learning, because eventually, like, I want to retire. And if I want to retire, I got to stay current with the industry. Number one. Number two, I have to pour into the new talent coming in so that my clients have someone, or their kids or whoever, have someone to go to, you know? So I think that's really important for us as mentors and senior stylists in the salons, to make sure to, like, remember, like, think of the future. Don't be too short-sighted.
Yes, I love that so much, because you touched on something right there that I want to expand upon a little bit, and that is instilling confidence in your clients in the talent that you're training. It is so important. I've seen a lot of leaders in salon spaces, like, it's almost like it's a fear tactic to be like, oh, I'm the only one that can do your hair. I'm the only one that knows this formulation or this thing, or she's learning, right? Like that demeaning conversation.
The language around it.
Correct. And it's, you're really like pigeonholing yourself,
Yes.
if I'm honest. Like,
Absolutely.
because then there's going to be a day where you as a leader grow, and not everyone's going to be able to come along all the time, and you have a life, you've got twin girls, like life happens. Like, you can't be the only person that your clients trust. They
Or
need to be,
like you're gonna get sick one day.
totally.
You're gonna go out for a week. If somebody, like if I were to have another baby, you know what I mean? Like, and I would just be, it would affect my business because where my client's gonna go.
Right.
Right. But if I have a apprentice or a brand new stylist that has finished the apprenticeship that I offer, to have the peace of mind that I have somebody like that I trust, that I know I personally trained, and my clients know that if Jamie's assistant does it, like they do it the way Jamie does.
Yes.
'Cause I won't put them in a position until they do it to the caliber that I do it. Now, if they have a different order, they might do something in. Okay, fine. But if it's, I'm not a cheap stylist, right? So
Yeah.
I have to ensure that my clients are going to get the same level of care and attention. That's my responsibility to do that, right? I don't want to put them in a tough position as a client, or but again, like just recently, I have an apprentice that is in the model phase of her apprenticeship, and it was a client of mine whose mom was a regular of mine, who it's been a while since I've seen, but Olivia is her name. Her mom gifted her an appointment with me because she's been going through some things in her life, and she was like, "Mom, I want my hair done," and she said, "I want to go to Jamie." So she came to me, and we did this big transformation, and I'm not offended when they say, "Listen, I love you, girl, but I can't afford you." Totally
Yes.
fine. I said, "Well, would you be interested in seeing one of my apprentices to be a model?
Yeah.
You get it for way less. I've trained them, but she also has a lot of her own raw talent that I did not do. Let me just say that." And so she actually came in just a few days ago, and all I ask is that I'm there for the consultation just to make sure we're all on the same page, and then I let her fly. And at the end of it, the client was like, because I didn't know if she was going to rebook, I thought this was maybe a one-time thing, but she said, "So when I want to come back, do I have to come to you or can I come to her?" And I was like, "Go to her."
Yeah.
And I said, just to be clear though, she is done with the model portion of this particular service, so it would be at her regular price. She asked what it was, gave it to her, and she said, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll make it work." So, and my apprentice is right there. I said, "I told you," even when we were wrapping up the consultation before she started, I said, "I want you to know, I know this is like nerve-wracking. You haven't seen anybody else regularly." I said, "But you are in excellent hands." Monica is my apprentice's name. I'm going to name drop her. I said, "She has some of the best raw talent I've seen in a long time." And seeing my client like relax, Monica's all jazzed up, and she put on a hell of a service. I mean, she truly knocked it out of the park. And so when we got to the end, I was like, and she's like, "Do I have to come to you?" "Absolutely not. Go to her." And I like ran and told my ops manager like how excited I was. I was like, we got her. I didn't get her regular. She got herself a regular. Let me just give her credit where credit's due. But I was, that just was like so fulfilling. I was like,
Totally.
So that felt really good.
It's the best to and I want to point out some amazing things about like you in that moment is you were a safe place for your clients to come and talk to about like, "Well, I just can't afford it right now," right? Which is totally fine.
Yes.
Like respect the budget,
Yes.
like madly.
I actually don't have millions of dollars either, so I
Yeah.
have to be mindful of budget.
Totally, absolutely. But you created an environment and you're sharing your relationship with your client that they could come and talk to you about
Absolutely.
that, right? But it's not super common, so I want to
Absolutely.
like just like woohoo like
Yeah.
that, okay?
Yeah.
And then, but not only that, you had a solution for her that didn't mean like, "Yeah, well, just let us know
Sorry,
if
can't afford
something
me."
changes." Like, because your lens in that is when you're listening to the problem that she's sharing is how can I serve my guest, right? How can I serve her and give her the result that she is looking for and be the solution to the problem that she's currently facing. And it creates opportunity for those that you are mentoring.
Yep.
And and then instilling the trust in the stylist, like that you got this, and like speaking that out to the client. There's just something to be said about like what that does for the gal that you're mentoring, Monica. Yeah, Monica. Whoop, whoop.
Love Monica. Get y'all a Monica. Obsessed with Monica.
She's like, oh my goodness, my mentor believes in me. You know what? I do got this. Like, and that certainty is so important when it comes into going into the service and not feeling doubt and not second guessing yourself. And she owned that appointment.
Yes, she didn't even need me to formulate. She didn't need me for placement. She didn't need nothing.
Yeah.
It's important to me that my cosign means something.
Yes.
To my clients, to anybody that I help mentor.
Right.
And she and I have been together for a few months now. And she said, God love her. She's another person who says the nice things out loud. She has told me, like, this is the best experience I've had. Because she was at a salon. This is not her first salon, right?
Yeah.
She's so hungry to learn, but she also knows what she brings to the table, right? Yeah. And so all I have to do is to just coach up the confidence. Again, the skill is the easy part.
Yeah.
It really is. I know we can mess up people's hair, but like we can navigate that easy peasy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to being successful behind the chair, it is not just being good at the hair. It is how you, the quote, here it comes.
Oh, yay!
Found it. Is that your work does not speak for yourself. You have to learn to speak about your work.
Ooh.
Okay? So posting on social media, all my highlights look good, but like next to your highlights, they look the same. They're all good, right? How do we stand out? That is the language that we use to our clients, to each other as, what are we when we work together? Co-workers?
What is this thing that we do?
What's that thing we do? But how we talk about ourselves, right? And so, for someone in the position she's in, being newer to the industry, younger in age, but I can see that twinkle in her eye. She's there. I'm going to breathe life into that girl because she wants it for herself, and she doesn't want, or I don't want it more than she does.
Right.
And that's something that I'm hyper aware of. Right?
Totally.
Because not everybody is made for this industry.
Totally.
Because a lot of success is defined a lot of different ways. That word is very arbitrary.
Yeah.
Right? Just like the word level system, Yeah. And I'd like to get into that too.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that to say, I was incredibly proud of her. It was kind of a first for me to have that kind of conversation, and I was proud of myself, how I navigated it, and knowing I'm not a fraud when it comes to being a mentor.
Yes.
What I promised them in that interview about what their journey could look like and who I am as their leader is exactly what I said. She feels even more connected to me, knowing that I trust her, I'm gonna help her if she needs, but that feels really good to me.
Totally.
That feels really good. I'm very proud of that. Again,
Absolutely.
Going back to impact, right?
Yes.
And who we are as leaders. It's not a mask I put on. I refuse. I will not. That she knows who I am to her, in front of the clients, behind closed doors, leading meetings that are salon only. They're going to get the same Jamie.
Yes.
Sometimes a little more unfiltered when we're not in a professional setting. You know that.
Totally.
But yeah, that's really important to me.
Absolutely. Well, it's integrity, right?
Integrity.
It is, and I love that about you. Is just being rooted in integrity. Absolutely. Of because if you just sign off and everything, does your sign off mean anything? Right? Versus if they do something and it's it could be better. That is your job to bring out the greatness in who you're mentoring. And so I love how seriously you take that. It is apparent to your clients. So when you say to them, she's got this, they don't have to second guess. Because they're oh no, I know if Jamie's saying yes,
Yep.
But okay, so I want to talk about what came up for you with levels. Let's talk about it.
So, and it's not a lot that I want to say about it, but if anybody that is younger is listening to this, and we toss around level system. It's very common in the commission salon space. The word level system is simply. It's just a word. It's a big word, right? But for example, my girls, when they're newer, right, they come in as an assistant to entry level. It's kind of their transition period, and then they're level 1. And one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to mindset with newer stylists is, well, I'm just a level 1 stylist. And I said, well, to put it in perspective for you, somebody who's been in it for a long time, is I worked for Ulta for 4 years, and they also have a level system. And I made it to the elite level, which is the top level, and there's, KPIs, right? It all comes down to numbers and stats. But I was hitting those KPIs, right? My haircut price was $65. their haircut, that took me 6, 7, 8 years in the industry, right? And grinding, and I hate that word, but hustling my tushy off on the weekends, whatever, to earn that price. And they're coming in at $75 to start.
Yeah.
But I was a level 6 or whatever, and they're a level 1. Again, it doesn't matter. Like, unlearn that because you are inexpensive, quote unquote, now, because $75 is not a little bit of money.
No.
To some people, that could be a big chunk of their paycheck. We don't get out of your clients' pockets.
Yeah.
But do not have that short-sightedness as a person to think like, oh, I'm only worth $75. No, they're getting a $75 haircut with you now.
Right.
And they're getting an excellent. It's a blessing that they're getting you now at this price point. You know,
totally.
It's kind of like that sales tactic when someone's giving pushback on price, right? And you have to create value around it. And they're, if you say, yes, it's $70, but you get da-da-da-da versus $75, and it includes da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's very common. And so I really try to help them understand, like, who cares what level you are? Because your level 1 is called what? Developing stylist?
No, ours is called Rooted.
Rooted, okay. Ours is Pearl.
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's only something that we know.
Right. Yeah. And the levels work out. The reason that I'm now a level 6 stylist, which is the highest at my current salon, is, again, KPIs, but how do I generate consistent revenue and retail sales and rebooking percentage? That's all, again, when we talk about success, I'm very good at those things. I'm faster. I can pivot in a crisis. I'm very, very strong in formulation. So if I'm out of something, I know how to make it. Like, those skills are worth something.
Yeah.
My highlights are good, but they're not that different. My placement might change. The looks we're doing might change, but like, those things are what are valuable, not how good my haircut is.
Right.
When it comes to price.
Correct.
So like, that's what I like, that those things are earned, but I am here to help you develop those skills to earn the income of a level 6 or whatever that you want to make.
Totally. Well, and it's almost like, look past the number, because I think like a lot of times, like, people will tie in their worth
Bingo.
to a number, and you are worthy just as you are. There's no price tag to it. There's no nothing. Focusing on the opportunity that you have, like, as an entry-level stylist, you have opportunity to have the most impact in your chair with new people wanting to come in to experience the salon space in a spot that feels safe, because it's low risk and they just want to vibe it out. You have an opportunity to plant roots there with the guests that you serve and show them what the salon experience and environment is about. If you focus more on that, you'll grow so much faster.
And when you're like in that role, like you and I are no longer in this position in our career, is that those girls this is your opportunity to get some OG day ones.
Yes.
We can think of those, right? We have them now.
Yes.
But we're not new anymore. We take new clients and things like that, but some of the, looking back at those OG day 1 clients that you may have probably made a mistake or did not do a great face frame on or whatever, that wrote it out with you.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to be able to look ahead in 5 and 10 and 20 years and whatever. And I still have a few of those people with me, even from Dallas, that will come to Houston, and that I hold that with the utmost grace and gratefulness, that God aligned me with those people that were seeing me through like development of my skills in my career, and that they loved me and trusted me enough to stick with me. And some of them fall off and whatever, that's life, that's the job. But so to the new girls out there, like, yes, they're getting $75. My clients got me at $35 at one point, and now they pay $150, but that trust and connection is really what helps make it comfortable for them to move along with me. And if they get to a point that they can't, absolutely fine. Every single one of them will say, who can I come to at this salon?
Right.
They don't want to leave, right? Because of culture that I've helped like create in the salon, and I'm happy to fill anybody else's chair with my guest. And I'm there if they need me, but I know you won't.
Totally.
These girls are good. They got you.
Totally.
They got you.
Totally. Well, and I say all the time, especially to the new talent who's like coming out in the industry, that they're so excited about blonding and hair extensions. Every time they're like, I'm like, what are you excited about? Blonding and hair extensions.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, totally. I'm like, but you want to know how you're going to grow so fast is if you get really excited about root color,
right,
and haircuts, because they're your bread and butter. They're going to come in every 4 to 6 weeks. And the cool thing is I look back on those services, they're so special to me because those people you see more than you see family members.
Yeah.
You develop like such a cool relationship with them, and it's like, it's the best. And I don't think it's something that gets talked about enough. So I just want to plug that in, because this is going to get in front of like a lot of people that are like new in the industry and looking for mentorship. So, the last thing that I really want to talk about is for the people that are listening that are seeking mentorship. Like, what advice would you give them when trying to have good discernment on finding a place that will lead them well?
Ooh, good question. So I'm going to speak from my experience of what I bring to the table, but because I encourage people when they interview with me, I can sell myself really well, but I encourage them to go interview other places and see what anybody else has to offer, because I might not be for everybody.
Right.
But what I would say when you are a new stylist and looking for a mentor is, one, for me as a mentor, I tell them when they come and interview, ask around about the salon, ask about me, ask about, for all the girls that have been through my apprenticeship, ask them how their experience was, and I have given them full permission to be honest. What you do and don't like. For me, what I look for in someone, and what I hope a stylist would look for, is someone who is okay to be pushed a little bit. Because I'm gonna scoot you outside your comfort zone, but it is all under the guise of love, and you just gotta trust me on this, right? So one of my favorite little stories, and this kind of ties back to this, is there's a story about these two women doing Bible study, and they come across the book of Malachi, and it's chapter 3, verse 3, and it's God is He will sit as the refiner and purifier of silver. And they were like, well, what does that mean? So they go and they sit with a silversmith, and they're watching him refine silver, and he's explaining, it removes the impurities and things like that. And they're like, well, how do you know when it's perfect? He's like, if it's not long enough or it's too long, it's ruined. They're like, how do you know when it's long enough? And he says, I'll be able to see my image in it. And I love that quote, because that's what God does, right? When we're being held over a flame in life, yes, it might feel like a pain point, but when we are ready to come out of that, He will help guide us out, and God will see His image in us, and then He will take you out of that fire. But He's not gone. He's sitting there with you, right? And I love that. So for me as a mentor, I will make you a little uncomfy. I will challenge you, because I'm not the type of person that will just like feed you the answer, because that's not growth, that's just mimicking, right? But for me, I will, in a safe place, like push you, right? Like you should crave someone that's not going to let you get complicit and too comfy, right? And so don't be resistant to that. It's not me being mean, it's not me being like a God complex thing. It's not that at all. It's that you got to trust me that I will. How does a slingshot work? You got to pull it back a little bit for it to rocket forward. So this may, in your learning, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to get confused, and you're going to get doubt, like that imposter syndrome will sit in. But if you have good discernment for people, you'll know when you're in the presence of somebody who will let you sit in that, because you got to feel the pain to feel the joy. But that is also going to nurture you to rocket you forward to that happy feeling of however that looks in success as a stylist or as a person, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. It's like finding that leader who's going to call out the greatness in you and not let you shy from that. Because ultimately it would be a disservice to them to not lead them in that way. And
as a new stylist, do not feel any type of way if you in your gut is telling you, you were sold really well in the interview, and then you get in there and it's not that at all. Give it a little time, because you got to give it a little time to know for sure. But if your gut is telling you this is not for me, leave. You have no responsibility, regardless of the word loyalty, to a person if it's no longer serving you.
Right.
That's not a selfish thing to say. I
Yes.
know that when I was, 4 years at Ulta, it was no longer serving me. I had hit my ceiling, and I had plans for my life. They gave me so much education. They really built me up as a stylist, and I can truly look back and say, like, I'm so grateful for that, and it is now my time to go, because it is my life at the end of the day. I am responsible for my own journey and my own happiness and success, and recognizing when it was that time. I was blessed to be there for a long time, but sometimes you get somewhere. I've had an assistant one time tell me that she quit the second day because they wouldn't let her sit down.
What?
We've had stylists in our salon that they used to have to like scrub toilets and floorboards and things like that. I'm like, why? Like little things like that is so dehumanizing. So if you're in that situation, to all you younger stylists, like please feel free to leave, because it would kill me to know that if God forbid I was creating an environment or that experience for you, that you then leave the industry, kind of tying the ribbon around like what we talked about earlier. That would just break my heart. So, you look for someone that you feel is your safe space. I am a safe space for people to come talk to me, however that looks, and if it is them coming to me and saying, listen, I got an opportunity somewhere else, I'm not offended. I might be a little surprised, just like, oh, I didn't, but what I say is, I am so happy for you. Please use me as a reference. I'd be happy to sing your praises to whoever is blessed enough to have you in their salon, and I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. And I, set them free, and they can move forward thinking like, I hope that they think like, okay, this is how it is. It's not, don't take your client information, don't work within 2 miles, blah, 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 all that yucky stuff. No. We don't own anybody. No. Clients or stylists or whoever, because I think you said it, when one door closes, another opens kind of thing. Yes. People come and go, but I am very rooted in that. I want to be a positive blip on their map. Totally. So that wherever success leads them down the way, that they look back and they're like, I had a great experience with Jamie or Ashley or anybody, people like us in this that are healing the industry. Like that is truly the mark I want to leave.
Absolutely. And you are.
I love you. Because I'm friends with people like her.
Totally. Yeah. But I love that so much. And I think if we could all just like get on board with like, it is okay for you to have safety standards around yourself. Like you have to protect your career. And if you feel like you're not being nurtured or you can't grow further, then and you have that calling on your heart, but you feel capped, like you feel the weight of that, like don't be afraid to like say, this just isn't where I feel like I'm meant to be planted right now. Like that is okay. It's not
because of a lack of loyalty.
No.
It's just sometimes like life changes things.
Totally.
So it's okay. And if it ends up being a hard, not great conversation, then you were right. You were right to leave.
Spot on.
That just proves your point.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
But hopefully you have somebody who is guiding you that has enough of their own personal discernment to not take it personally. We got to get out of our own way, put our ego aside, and say like, okay, I would love for them to generate revenue in the salon that I work at, and that's all good and fine, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. And it's very emotionally manipulative to say, well, I trained you for 4 years and I did all these things. Yes, that is true. Yeah. But again, we don't own people.
We don't own people. No, I love that. So my favorite question to ask at the end of every podcast is, if you could have like one prayer come true, you could wave a wand over the industry and like see the most impact of healing, what would that thing be?
Oh man. I think for stylists at any level, truly it is commanding the respect that we have earned as an industry. And for me, like my biggest thing is removing the words I'm sorry or unfortunately from my language. So if they're looking to book an appointment and they're like, oh, are you available on Thursday? Unfortunately, no, I have da-da-da. Who's it unfortunate for? You, not me. I'm booked and busy, So not to be like entitled by any means, but unless you were to say, unfortunately for you, I'm not available on Thursday, you would never say that. That's rude. So I don't say, unfortunately, I'm not available. I say, I have X, X, and X day at this time. That's it. Yeah. So again, like, I just think as women, we are just so like conditioned to apologize when like you only apologize if you hurt someone or did something wrong. Me being unavailable because I'm booked and busy is not a mistake. It is not, I didn't do anything to hurt that person. It's not unfortunate, you know? So holding your personal boundaries, understanding that we have to be a little bit flexible sometimes, but for me, holding the boundary of, oh, I'll just squeeze in one more person or I'll just do this. My life has changed by really planting my feet in my time boundaries. I'm spending more time with my kids and my husband. I'm getting better rest at night, not holding on to guilt of, oh, I didn't just stay late for one more person. Because at the end of the day, let's be so for real, getting your hair done is a privilege, it is not a right. No one will die without a haircut. That's just not how our industry works. And while it may feel unfortunate to them, it is not because of me. So just commanding the respect of your time, your skills, the value you bring as a person and as an artist, and speaking seriously about what we do, that it's not some secondary thing because we weren't smart enough to go to college or whatever. It's that, no, I'm an artist. You know, like you want your hair done, like, you know, if I mess it up, you feel real mad. So when I'm good at it, you have to hold that at the same level, right? Of value.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, don't apologize for something that you worked so hard to build.
Right. I'm not sorry that I've like hustled my butt off and blood, sweat, and tears into my craft. Like, I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm very proud of that. And I didn't lose any clients, that nobody fell off. I'm not going to say I didn't lose any. Some of them had to go to someone that better aligned with their schedule. That's not because I didn't do a good thing or I did a bad thing. It's that, you know, and it made room for other people who could align with my schedule.
Totally. Well, and it's just like, don't take things personally. It has nothing to do with you. Don't apologize for things that you didn't do anything wrong. Just be mindful of that. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
And also acknowledge that. And acknowledge the fact that if you do make a mistake, again, we talk about being safe spaces for people to come to us, is that we have to kind of create that culture on everything. So if our client comes to us and says, I didn't love this last time, I don't take it personally. I don't get in my feelings. Now, if I have to remind them of what the consultation was and I did deliver, that's one thing. But if I can be honest with myself, if I'm in a blow dryer and I see a bleeder, I see this, you are going to be so much more trustworthy as an artist and as a leader to acknowledge, like, oh my gosh, I got to put one on here real quick. Do you have 20 minutes? You know, whatever. Again, we want to build trust with our clients because we don't want to be that stylist that gave somebody a bad experience or a bad taste about us as a community in general. Because a lot of stylists are too proud to admit they made a mistake or whatever, you know, so.
Well, and it's like having integrity. And I always say all the time, like, integrity is what you do when nobody is watching. Like, you speaking it out and being honest because you see it and you're the professional and you're going to take care of your client no matter what. And that establishes that trust.
We're humans, we're not robots. I make mistakes even though I feel like I kind of almost hold myself to a hard standard, like I should know better. I've been doing this for so long. I have to set that down. That pride is toxic to myself. And to my client experience, and acknowledge, like, I make a mistake, you know? And I learn and I move forward. You know, one of my favorite quotes, just to kind of end this as a stylist, is that resilience is how fast you get back to baseline. And that is where my value is that if a mistake happens, I don't panic, I don't spiral, I don't cry or freak out or whatever. There were times that happened, I literally cried in front of a client. I was like, that's the wrong thing, I should have toned you with that. But just, I'm like, okay, dang it, I have to put a foil there or something like that, you know, and I just fix it. Because if I react to it immediately, it's going to be bigger than it needs to be versus if I just level myself out, regulate, handle it, and then I have a little bit of time to finish the service, and then I can go to somewhere private and like kind of work through it in my head, feel what I got to feel, and then put it down. I cannot carry that through the rest of my day or tomorrow or let it eat at me or lose sleep at night because I, you know, made a mistake. That would just be exhausting.
It's not your weight to carry.
No.
You know, did you do everything with good intentions?
Or if it is your weight to carry, don't carry it for longer than you need to.
Yes, put it down.
Put it down.
It's not yours to carry.
Yeah.
Go home, be a person, disconnect.
Yes.
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 Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for being on the podcast today. This was so much fun.
I am so honored. I know we've talked about this before, and I'm glad that I was like, no, this is the weekend. We're doing it.
Yes.
Because being 4 hours apart is tough, but I'm so glad, but you when it's worth it, we found the time.
Yes.
We committed to it, and we did what we said we were gonna do. And I've had a wonderful girl weekend. We had an Ashley Vance day yesterday. She was taking us to all her spots, and it was truly so fun. It breathes life into me being around people like this. And as a stylist who, she's not my salon owner, but gosh, am I proud to know the people that do work for you get to experience what I've gotten to experience with you. And I'm proud of you for doing this. And anybody listening you're gonna be better having heard her message. Truly.
You made me cry in the beginning. Don't make me cry at the end. Too. Mascara burns my eyes. Well, thank you so much. I love you so much. And I'm just so grateful for your light in the industry and your just commitment to shine it. So just
thank you.
keep on
it's all
shining.
him, baby.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus.
It is all him.